brought the feelings in. We brought the receipts, baby. Lay back, tell the truth. We do this dirty, but we do it safe. Council's in the house. Let's go. Talk it out and act like grown-ups. Secrets in a circle, lips sealed tight. If you need a little healing with a little heat, pull up a chair. Keep your boots on. This is Counselors After Dark.
Hey guys, you're here with Betty. It's Paula. Dottie here.
Hey, it's Daisy.
It's your girl Dolores.
And welcome to Counselors After Dark.
Okay, so I actually have a funny story about the drink of the day, and it's about scotch. So I used to nanny for this family, love them, miss them. And one day, the dad gave me this really nice aged glass of scotch. And I didn't know that you don't just take it like a shot. you have to take it and really just taste it, and it's an experience. So everyone at the dinner table was like, obviously the grown-ups were drinking the scotch, and at that time I'm like, oh, because he gave me a little bit of it because it was so expensive.
Oh my God.
I slugged it back like a shot. They were mortified. They were actually mortified. They were like, what are you doing? This bottle is like $700.
Oh, no.
So scotch is my drink of the day. Lesson learned. I will never, ever do that again.
You're traumatized.
Yeah, you got to sip it.
I didn't know. I was uncultured.
That's okay, because you learned and now you are also an adult.
I was an adult back then, but I just like never had scotch.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I haven't had scotch.
Neither have I, but I know that you have to sip it. Probably like $100 worth of a shot.
No, literally. The parents were like jaw dropped. They were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm taking the shot that you left me.
This is not tequila. Aw, you were a little baby bird. That's why.
I just wanted to fly, but I hit a wall. So anyways, Daisy, take it away.
Our topic today is dynamics within the school. Sometimes you have to decide what's worth a battle and what's not worth a battle.
Let's get into our post. I started the year at what I thought would be my dream job. This year has been filled with mean girl activity, fractured, toxic team dynamics. There's no work-life balance, and counselors are making decisions that admin should be making. Admin isn't supporting us, even with clear documentation. Is this a norm that a lot of us are experiencing? Let's talk.
Wow, this takes me back because I do remember something like this.
Did you send this in?
Yes, did I write that once upon a time ago? I don't know. I might have. But I do remember having to make many decisions and obviously felt very unsupported by administration one day. But times have changed.
I think that we could do multiple episodes on the different types of relationships that we have in our building. Yeah, we have relationships with teachers and administration, different departments, and different dynamics. There's just so much, and it can get very toxic if you don't set boundaries and you don't have those conversations. When I started, and obviously if you've been following us and you're a fan, then you know that I started off in the lower levels and I was by myself. I was one of the first counselors that they ever had at that level. So I was working for intermediate elementary school level, and the administration and the teachers have never dealt with a counselor in their building. So I know that they were also learning how to deal with that dynamic, but also I felt very unwelcome. And I think that's also huge, right? Those relationships. And I know that in other episodes, Paula has mentioned you have to go and you have to meet the teachers and you have to create those relationships because it's going to come in handy to help your students in the future. I tried that. And you have to be prepared for people not liking you for no reason. I was not liked. I was not welcome. And I don't even think it was because of who I was or my personality or anything, really. I think it was just because they have never had that type of role in the building. And my role required coming into the classroom, taking up class time to do presentations that I was being told I needed to do. This is part of my job. I was being told I was a brand new counselor. So I'm just listening to what they're saying from upstairs. So they will not understand that. They will think that you have personally decided that you are coming to take their classroom time away. You are coming to take students away. You are interrupting their classroom time. So they will not like you. And that's okay because you need to make sure that you are setting these boundaries. This is my job. I have a job to do just like you do. And even if you are the first counselor, or maybe you're coming in as a new counselor and they don't know you yet, you try your best, do your job, you stay professional. And if they want to act that way towards you, okay. But also set that boundary. Don't let them step all over you. Unfortunately, I did let them step all over me, but I think I learned my lesson because that hindered me so much. I feel like I could have done so much in that role and I didn't because I let them bully me and I let them bring me down to a level where I didn't even want to go into the classrooms. I didn't even want to go and get a student. I would be scared to knock on their door and ask them, hey, I need this student, or hey, I have to do this lesson today. So you need to learn to advocate for yourself, and you will get lucky sometimes that you will get those teachers that understand that you have a role in that building and you have as much a right as they do to be in there and do your job. And those are the nice ones, and cherish them and become their friends because they will support you and advocate for you. But with those really tough personalities, you just have to fight your way through and you have to set those boundaries. I think that when I came into the high school, I made sure to set those boundaries so that I could do my job to the best of my ability. Because if I'm not going to stand strong in what my role is, then they're not going to respect me. And I think that's something that you have to set straight away with admin and with other teachers. I am supposed to be here and I have the right to be here just as much as you do. So respect me in a nice way with a smile.
Preach.
I love that, Betty. And part of the role is also having to explain what your role is, unfortunately, because basically these people are all strangers to you at this point. They don't only not know your role, but they don't know who you are. And what we want to do within a school district is try to develop relationships with everyone we work with because we don't want to be working there so many years and be just virtually strangers with everyone. We want to at least have some sort of friendly banter with other people and know that they can come to you if they need to, or vice versa. If you need something from them, that you can go over there and talk to them about a need that a student has or that you have, because we're all working together as a team to try and support these students and to create a positive climate in our schools.
I definitely agree. And I always have to say to myself, I'm here for the kids. I have a hard time when people don't like me. That is something I am trying to work on. And Betty has really helped me along the way. I've had moments where I'm like, oh, I don't know why this person is just not working with me. Sometimes I take it personal, but I also think that once you are confident in yourself and know your job and you can speak up, I think that goes a long way with how you also foster relationships with others. I had a situation where there was a lot of toxicity within other departments, and word was spreading around about a certain situation, and that really got to me. I couldn't let it go. So I ended up putting on my big girl pants and having a conversation with that teacher and saying, hey, what's going on? I've heard all these different things that have been said. I have a relationship with you as a person I've worked really hard with, work with me here. Let's figure it out. So I think that also helps that mean coworker environment. Taking a step back, we're adults. So having conversations with the person that you're hearing things from and just clearing the air. That's it. Even in the conversation, the other person was saying, I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And I'm like, absolutely. And we can agree to disagree. I just want us to be okay with each other. And I don't need everyone to have the same opinion as me, but I want to clear the air. So I would say in that situation of toxicity within the building, it's okay to be taken aback, but no, sometimes rumors spread and just have a conversation with that person. It goes a long way. And listen, it wasn't easy for me. I had pep talks with everyone at this table right now, but I'm so happy I did do it because who knows how that relationship could have ended or could have turned out if I didn't just say, "What's up? What's going on? I love you. You're the best. Work with me. What happened?" And we worked it out and it was awesome.
You can disagree professionally, but still be good personally.
Yes.
You can be good friends and just not have the same opinions.
Absolutely.
Right?
Agree
As
to
long as,
disagree.
yeah, as long as we're
Yeah.
good. We're still friends, we're still coworkers, we're working it out. But
Yeah.
I don't like the way you're doing that.
Yep. And you're going to be close to some people and not others.
I think something important to remember also, and I know this is something that I tell myself all the time, but I still struggle with it, is that we can't control other people's actions, what other people do, what other people say. And that can be frustrating because we deal with so many different personalities and you're not always going to get the answer that you want. You're not always going to get the response that you want. And that can be upsetting. But at the end of the day, you have to stay true to yourself and remember you can't control other people, unfortunately.
Dottie, you're 100% correct. And I was thinking something very similar. It's really important to keep things professional. You have to take your emotions out of certain situations when you're dealing with your coworkers. You're going to have the mean people at the job. It's going to happen everywhere, anywhere. It's not to say that where you currently are, that's everywhere, because it's not. There are places, there are departments that will welcome you in, that are supportive. Unfortunately, for some people, they're not there. And after you've tried everything, if you need to transfer out. If you need to find another job, find another job. When you clock in, focus on your task at hand, working with the colleagues that you have to work with while you're there. And then when you leave, you got to separate. But no matter what, if you're in a school building, there are people there that have a similar mindset to you. It might not be in your counseling department, but it might be someone in the English department, or it might be in someone in the special ed department, or it might be the custodial staff. There are people that you can definitely connect with, but you might have to just go outside of your box. You might have to hang out in the nurse's office and chat up with them. There are people in education that you can make your lifelong friends. It doesn't have to be the counselors in your office if that's just not the environment that you were placed into, unfortunately. There was a time years ago, it didn't happen to me because I would never, but one of my coworkers had a very calm mindset. She was really good at advocating for kids. And this was in elementary school. There was this teacher that just had a fit with this other colleague. They were in different departments, and come to find out, this teacher went to this person and was like, "Meet me at the grocery store parking lot." It was wild. They didn't go. My colleague didn't meet them there. They knew to go to their building principal to handle it. They ended up having a mediation that didn't work out well because the principal, unfortunately, didn't know what to do. There was a lot of yelling back and forth in the office. That was a very unprofessional environment. Both people were tenured, but it really was not a good situation. And ultimately, as we've said in the past, we're all here for the kids. The one staff member that had said, "Meet me in the parking lot," was not someone that was there for the kids. They weren't someone that was being professional. Never let yourself be put in a situation where you're going to be physically harmed. I know emotionally we have different tolerance levels for ourselves. So if you can go to counseling outside of your job, find different ways to manage your mental health, because if your job isn't fulfilling to you, you have to find other ways to be fulfilled. Maybe from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Things suck, but you know that if you're there for the kids and you focus on the kids, everything else is just like hoopla. But once you clock out, that's when you have to really pour into yourself.
Wow, Dolores. I can't wait to hear more about this after this podcast recording. But I love how you mentioned that sometimes people will be working with unprofessional people, because I have been blessed with working with both type of people who have been very professional and others who have not. And when you're working with someone who is not professional, it's very difficult. And sometimes you have to decide what's worth a battle and what's not worth a battle. But yeah, what are you going to be talking about and bringing up in conversation and being direct about? And what are you just going to let go? Because how many times are you going to bring up the same thing? I have to tell you that one of the best interactions that I've had with a teacher was when there was a misunderstanding through email. And this is why I would always encourage young counselors or anyone really to have conversations instead of always sending an email, because it's easy just to rely on sending the email because emails can be misinterpreted. And luckily enough, I was working with someone who was professional and decided to bring it up in person, who thought that maybe I was saying something subliminally in an email unknown to me, and they cleared the air with me. And that ended up making our relationship better. We can now speak, not that we couldn't speak before, but we can move past that and we can have conversations about pretty much anything at this point. But it helped our relationship clearing the air and having a professional conversation about a potential conflict that we could have had. So I love hearing this. Thank you.
And advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
You always have to advocate for yourself. I had a friend who worked in a building in an office that was always great. And she always used to rave about how close everybody was in the office, how great they were, and how well they worked together. But then I believe her secretary got a better opportunity and they got a new one. And it didn't go so well. They just didn't mesh well. The personalities were different. And she was telling me all the time about all these different situations that to me seem very frustrating. And I don't know how I would have handled that. If you don't feel comfortable in your workspace, right? Because yes, you can be professional and you can move on. And I love all of those things. And I think that we're adults and we can do that. But if it gets to a certain level where you are coming to work and you're uncomfortable and you feel like you're not being supported by people that are being paid to support you, I think that you need to advocate for yourself. And if you need to go to someone and they're not helping you out, but they're supposed to be, there's got to be something that you can do. That's such a frustrating situation. And I think that that can happen with someone in your department, which I've also had situations where things haven't been done or been taken care of. And you think that it's common sense to take care of it, but others don't see it. And especially those in power, it's very nonsense for them, right? It's very little. It's not important. It's not like graduation rates. It's more figure it out. You're an adult. But it's like, how do I figure it out without this getting even more crazy than it is right now? You're supposed to be the bigger adult because you have the power. It's your job to come and make sure that your team is doing their best together. They're working together and that everybody is being treated the correct way. But I guess that's just a perfect world. And we don't live in it.
No, we don't.
But maybe you can meet them outside in the parking lot.
I've been with you, Betty, with this certain situation. I feel like it's not me. It's not the way like I am, but I've had friends also in school districts that this one friend in particular, they're a teacher and they go to work and her coworkers are very toxic. They are constantly talking just negative about others. They're in each other's business. And my friend is very professional, goes to work, does what they need to do, clocks out, goes home, and it works for her. She is a person with that mindset of, I'm here for a job, I'm here to give back to my students. And that's something that you can also maybe try in your case. I personally wouldn't be able to do that just because I feel like I need to make connections with others. That's important to me. And again, with what Betty said, you should be in an environment that you're comfortable with and that you look for admin, for other people who are getting paid to do what they do to support you. If you are that type of professional who can really separate and just compartmentalize work and personal, do that. Recommend it. However, if you're more like me, where you need to go to work and also have relationships with people and colleagues and have fun because it's not just all about work, then look for those supports. And again, like Dolores said, it doesn't have to be in your department. It can be other departments. There's departments that I truly do love, and I know they have my back. It's up to you and how you want to navigate it. And it's not all bad.
It's also your second home. You're there all the time.
Yeah. You see those people more than anyone else.
Yeah, all the time. You're there for hours. Personally, I want to feel happy where I am.
Are you happy?
I am so happy. I am like the luckiest person ever.
You better say
I'm so
that.
happy I didn't switch careers. This is it, guys.
You could have been in life insurance.
I could have.
Then you
Quarter-life
wouldn't have
crisis.
had this family right here.
Yes, you guys are
Us.
my family. I love you guys.
Something else that comes to mind when I think about the post was about the work-life balance. I know that it was mentioned that the counselors have an expectation to stay late and to come in early, and that shouldn't be happening anywhere. Contractually, you can leave when it says it's time for you to leave. I know that I've worked in places also where it wasn't an expectation, but people made it seem like, oh, if you can stay late, but you don't have to, or if you can come in a little bit early, do that, but you don't have to. But I also worked in a place where it was frowned upon if you stayed late. If you stayed late or if you came early, everyone looked at you sideways. The principal's leaving and looking at you like, okay, pack up, you're leaving. You gotta go. Because I was so used to staying late or coming in early or taking work on vacations because that was what I was trained to do from my first position. And then by the time I got to my second position, people were looking at me like I was psycho. They said, it is time to clock out, Dolores. I'm leaving. So are you. This work is going to be here in the morning. No one's hurt. Everyone is fine. Clock out. And I got into that habit of, you're right. The day will move on. Tomorrow, there will be more issues and more problems to address. I've done all I can do for the day. I can't be in the building when custodians are trying to clean up and I'm in their way. I'm in their space. Think about it like that. You are doing a disservice to other people if you stay late. So leave on time.
Be respectful.
Your time is so valuable. I've really come to learn that. Your time is precious. It's a 24-hour clock. And I love how now, when we do see each other working late, let's go. And if you're not going to get up and go, then I'm going to wait until you're ready because now you're running into my time.
Yeah, Daisy, be respectful.
Be respectful.
I am respectful. And I am also a work in progress.
Stop
And
getting in the
this-
custodian's way.
I know. This is why we're good friends.
So let's get into the bottom line for today. As counselors, we have to build relationships with all different people in the building, and you're not always going to get along with everybody, but stay professional and true to yourself. And most importantly, try not to meet coworkers in grocery store parking lots.
Or do. That's fine too.
And don't forget to hit the follow button so you don't miss any of our counselor confessions.
Cheers.
This is Counselors After Dark.